today, the Civil Asset Recovery and Unexplained Wealth Act was the focus of a joint initiative between the Financial Intelligence Unit (FIU) and the U.S. Embassy's Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs. This act gives the FIU the authority to recover assets and wealth acquired by individuals through criminal means. These persons will be investigated, and according to the Financial Secretary, Joseph Waite, anyone who's living in Belize can be the subject of the investigation.
This basically says, look, with the capacity and the training that we hope to get over in the coming months, this will give the authorities the tools to be able to say, look, if something looks cute, something looks funny, something looks unexplained, look into it and see. If it's proven that it is from an illegal source, it can be seized. Yeah?
Includes everyone?
Yeah, everyone.
Including the Prime Minister?
Yeah, he's a citizen as well. Yeah.
The leader of a religious community?
Anybody who has unexplained wealth.
The legislation empowers the FIU to obtain an unexplained wealth order in case of suspicion. Once the court order is issued, the subject will be compelled to elucidate and disclose the origins of their assets and wealth before the High Court. Lenny Isigiri-McGann is the director of the FIU.
We are the primary agency that will be responsible for making civil asset recovery applications or unexplained wealth applications. Both of those applications are applications that can take place without the need for a criminal conviction. And we bring the person in relation to any property before the court and make an application and ask for that property in consideration of the fact that it represents the proceeds of crime be recovered, or that unexplained wealth order. In that case, it would be an application in the first stage that the person is able to then provide a declaration accounting for that property, and then based on that declaration, the court will determine whether or not it would make an unexplained wealth order. If, of course, the person cannot adequately respond to how they came about acquiring certain property.
Police Commissioner Chester Williams says that this new act will allow police officers and the FIU to go after suspects.
We do have police officers who are entrenched at the FIU who assist with investigations and other matters that the director may so wish for them to carry out. There are occasions when the police and FIU do work together on cases, and I believe that with this new law, there are going to be much more of those occasions where we're going to work together to go after persons who we believe are engaged in criminal activities and are benefiting financially from it, to see how we can then forfeit their assets.
And the owners of these assets have protections under this act.
Imagine for a moment, one day you see some physical assets, big building going up, or a number of cars, or speedboats, or things that this legislation will give the authority to inquire, well, what's the source, where it's coming from, and if it can't be, and if it's proven that it's an illegal source or unexplained wealth, it can be seized. But there's a process, and there's protections for the owners of these properties. It's not just wanton and capricious.
The week-long training is bringing together all stakeholders to familiarize themselves with the act. Dean Flowers is participating as the president of the Public Service Union. Flowers says he has an issue with the time restrictions imposed by the act.
It is a fact that as a country, as a people, we've been exploited, not only by elected officials, but also by private citizens, including public officials in the public sector. And so it is important that we get an understanding in terms of how this asset recovery goes. I will again express my disappointment that the legislation speaks specifically to, I believe, 12 years. But of course, if the matter is before a judge, that judge can order that the investigation goes back to as much as 20 years. But I believe that where our country has been exploited in the manner in which we've been exploited, that law should have mirrored what we see in other developed countries, which is that there should have been absolutely no time limit on that.
Reporting for News 5, Hipolito Novelo.